Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the Washington Talk here at Automotive Anatomy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today's topic is pretty much philosophy. What is your philosophy? I find myself kind of thinking about this topic for different reasons. One of them, I don't like to read. I'm not a big reader. I guess let me take that back. I do like to read, but it has to be something that interests me. And I haven't really been as interested or paid attention to read as much as I did back in my junior year of high school specifically. I don't know why junior year, I just decided to start reading, aside from the fact that for our English class we had to read some, and then I think it's called RTI, I'm not sure. And then you would take a test on this computer about that certain book, and then if you passed it, then you got certain points, and that's how you will build up all your points on your reading scale or whatever it was, but anyways, that's like the last time that I really actually paid attention to reading, and so I don't really read as much, and so what I like to do is just listen to audiobooks. So I started thinking about philosophy because I'm listening to Think and Grow, no wait, Think and Rich. As you guys can tell, I've been paying attention. Think and Grow Rich, something like that. I just started listening to it last night. How I got onto that book was because I listened to this motivational speaker named Jim Rohn, and I really like his stuff. He has passed away. He was big in the 70s and the 80s, and he was discussing some books that have had a big impact on him. And I've heard of this book many times, but I have never been able to kind of pull through. And so last night about 12 in the morning, I was playing video games. I was literally just listening to something, and so from like 12 to 1 I was able to listen to it, and it's pretty good. I mean, it can be a little tedious, just some of the stories and things like that, but for the most part they were discussing philosophy and things like that. There's another book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it has to do with financial kind of philosophy on how in this particular book this individual handles his money, how you can grow wealth and things of that nature. And it got me thinking about my philosophy on just different things. As you guys know, I'm not a huge debt kind of guy. I don't like having payments. I would like to say that my life is very simplistic, and that's not a bad thing. I think that that's just the way I want to have my life. It doesn't mean that if you're in a different room or if you guys like different things, then yeah, it doesn't mean that you guys are right. It doesn't mean that you guys are wrong. It's just, this is what I like. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is accessibility. And so what I mean by that is I try to be as accessible to almost everybody. At this time of this recording, I'm already back from Sacramento. I took a 6-hour drive up north to show some support and some love to the Accord guys up in northern Cali. And I was able to have a chat with a few of you guys, and a few of you guys were like, oh yeah, we were talking, and I was like, when? He's like, they were like, oh, through DMs, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I don't want to sound shallow or showing off or whatever the case may be. Just so many messages I get, and I really legitimately get a lot of messages. I try to respond to everybody, and if I ever respond to you with one word or very dry, just know that it's because, one, I'm not spending too much time on my phone. As of lately, I've been kind of practicing just 2 to 3 hours on the phone for actual just consumption. I'll use it as a tool. I'll upload, hey, we have a new upload today, whatever, things like that. I'll do reels, I'll do pictures, and then I kind of disengage. I go do my own thing. And so it may seem like I'm constantly on my phone, but the reality is if I am, I'm probably on YouTube, not on Instagram, and things like that. But the reason why I really want to discuss philosophy is because I do believe in being open-minded. I do believe in being accepting and being, open to communication, helping as many people as possible. But it also gets to this point where it gets frustrating, and let me tell you guys why. There's been a couple of times already that some people have sent me DMs and they're like, hey, give me a call, here's my number, or hey, what's your number, so that way I can call you and we can have a question for you and things like that. And it pays me to say that there's been a couple times where I have to say, hey man, I don't give out my phone number, and I've had some people ask me like why. It's like, okay, it gets frustrating to have to repeat myself or to even explain myself, and the real reason why I don't give out my phone number, aside from just privacy, is because I can get hacked, right? People can do a lot with just phone numbers, emails, things of that nature. And it's not that you can't find my phone number, it's not that you can't find my email. It just almost a sense of entitlement that I get from some individuals who maybe have helped me in the past, or maybe they've never helped me with any type of interview. And so to me, it's almost like, okay, I need to be able to have my philosophy, which is, be accessible, but also stand your ground and be okay with the fact that some people are going to get upset about it. Some people are not going to like you. And some people are going to have a negative view of you regardless of what you do or don't do. And this was also brought up in another podcast that I was listening by The Minimalist. One of them, Ryan, he was telling Josh, the other co-host, how he was battling with a certain challenge, because he's like, there's a person who is having a hard time kind of understanding who I am, what I do, what I don't do, and I had to set my boundaries, and that kind of upset them. And now they have a different mindset of me, and whatever the case may be. And as I was listening to them, I was like, man, like, I need to be okay with the fact that there's going to be somebody out there who's going to say, Gus is a complete a-hole, he's rude, and obviously sometimes they won't say the whole entire truth. I hit him up and this guy didn't respond, whatever the case may be. I do understand that I am putting myself out there, and if you guys are going to send me a message, I'm going to try to respond. I noticed, and I know it got me upset, because when I got into an accident, I got so much love from people, a lot of DMs, a lot of good stuff, I sat there and responded to every single message. I think my phone, I didn't have my new phone at the time, I had my old phone. My stupid old phone did not send the messages. And so I noticed that with a few people that I kind of talk on the regular, I hadn't responded to them. I was like, what? And so I went back and looked at some other messages, and it didn't respond to many of them. And I was so upset, because I know there's people out there who are probably thinking, dude, I sent that guy a message and he saw it, obviously, because the app says that you saw it, and he didn't respond. And it upsets me, because I did spend my time, to respond. If I hadn't, I would have been like, whatever. But I actually did. And so it's kind of having that constant battle of being okay with having different people think different things of you. All I'm saying is, I think that the more the channel continues to grow, the more the social media platform continues to grow, the less accessible I have to be to people. And that sucks to say, but it's just, it's not, I don't think it's as easy as some people may think. Me having to explain myself to random people that I don't give out my phone numbers. I've never met you. There's no reason why I should be exchanging my information with you. And I've had some people where, they unfollow me. They've said something like, oh, okay, cool, I guess you don't care about subscribers, and then, unfollow, whatever. And I'm just like, what just happened? But that goes to show you that if you're doing things, you're going to run into this type of stuff. And so I just kind of wanted to send it to you guys. My philosophy is still the same, which is to help people, to continue for me to meet, awesome people. But just because I interview you, it doesn't mean that I am going to be completely open to sharing all my personal information. And I think that's super important for all of us to know. And I'll give you as an example. If somebody from the Hooligans interviews you, don't expect them to be able to just, hey, this is all my personal information. I think me on a personal level, it's almost like entitlement. I know a few people that are really cool to talk to, but I wouldn't ask for their phone numbers just out of respect for their privacy, and that's just the way I see it. I would definitely not, demand their phone number or ask them to call me because this is, whatever. It's just one of those things that as you continue to grow, you have to set boundaries, and that applies really to everything. You guys know that. I mean, to work. Some of you guys send me DMs, and I appreciate, because that means that you guys watch and listen to Washington Talks. You're like, you got a new job? And we're like, yeah, I got a new job. And part of it is because I did set my boundaries. And once you set your boundaries at work, you're going to have people dislike you. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, that's just up to the other person to decide. But you're still going to have to set your boundaries. And that also applies to relationships, to your spouse, to your husband, wife, when you're friends. And so, I don't know. I guess you guys can definitely hear in my voice that I'm passionate about this. I've had this conversation with my wife as we were walking. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I think I'm being too accessible. I think I'm responding to everybody, and it's getting to me. It's getting to me in the sense of, like, I spend quite a bit of energy trying to respond to people, and sometimes it's like they want to have a full-on conversation because I don't know, they have the time, and I'm just like, well, not trying to be mean, but I'm also, and it may be me, to be honest with you guys. Then maybe I need to take a step back and say, well, I'm not ready to respond right now, then don't respond. So this is kind of the things that I've been thinking about, but it's like, if I don't respond, then a couple more messages add up. And that's the reason why I don't follow that many people. Some may think, oh, this guy just wants to follow specific people. Yes, I do. I only follow the people that I've interviewed. I follow maybe a few that I'm about to, contemplate of interviewing, and obviously very close friends. As you guys know, social media is very stimulating. The last thing I want to see is just a whole bunch of random stuff. I try to keep up with everything that my buddies are doing, but obviously, as you guys know, it's very difficult. And so that's the reason why I don't follow that many people. And the same thing is because I don't want to be engaged with conversations with 1,000 different people that I don't know. It makes me happy knowing that I try to help some people. I'll give you as an example. I met Danny at a core meet, and his buddy was like, hey, my friend wants to say something to you. I was like, yeah, what's up? And then Danny gets out of the car, and he was like, oh, I sent you a message. And I was like, did I respond? I have to ask that because I don't know, right? I don't want to be rude. And he's like, yeah. I asked you what kind of wheels the coupe had before, and you responded just with the name of the wheel. So I just wanted to say that I went and bought the wheels because now I know which one they were. And I was like, awesome, dude. Congratulations. But it could have been the opposite. It could have been, no, man, I didn't respond to you. Or even worse, if I am not in a good place and you say something, because I am a human being, right? But if you say something sarcastic, and I'm very good at words, I'm very good at being sarcastic, and I hit you back with sarcasm, I can meet you in person now that we're in Cali. You could be, aggressive, you can be rude, you can do, and so that's something that I also have to be contemplating on how I want to continue moving forward with responding to messages. I feel that the more the platform continues to grow, the more you get some people that just feel entitlement. And obviously this does not apply to everybody. Some of you guys that I've never met, that we talk back and forth, maybe you guys have come out about it a better way, but maybe I just need to pick a better time to read and respond to messages. And maybe it's me. So that's kind of, just want to throw ideas at you guys. Not gonna lie, it bothers me when I get direct messages with not even like, hey, what's up, man? And I don't know if that's my ego talking, I don't know, but when I get messages where like, hey, what's your wheel specs, bro? Or just straight to the point, and maybe they're just trying to, maybe that's just, they thought about it, they wrote it, and then they move on. I don't know, it's almost like, well, I don't know how to explain it. And my buddy Brandon, who has a bigger following on Instagram, he has posted on his stories so many different times. If you don't take the time to even say hi, I'm not responding to you. And there's been times where I'm like, okay, don't just respond, And so I kind of quote unquote lead by example. I get a question that is just like straight to the point, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How are you? And then I give out the answer. But again, that's not always all the time. I think I definitely do have to be more in a mental, in a good mental place. And so I think I'm just having a hard time balancing when and when not to respond. I also don't want to be that guy that you send a message to and I never get back to you. Because I've been there, right? I've asked questions to people that have, shoot, not even a big following. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. And they don't respond to me, and it's like, okay, well, that's cool, I guess. But you know, for whatever reason. It's just one of those things that at the moment I'm kind of having that philosophy kind of midlife philosophy crisis, if you will. But this is all that came up. Just the Think and Grow Rich book, The Minimalist, Jim Rohn, and then just just recently I had somebody was like, hey, I need your number, and I was like, what, like that, I was like, no, man, like I don't give up my phone number. And previous to that I had another one as well, and that person unfollowed me, doesn't talk. We used to DM fairly, I've never met this person, but we used to DM quite a bit, and then when I went to their page one time, they unfollowed me, and I was like, okay. Over not giving them my phone number. And it's I don't know if I'm the one who's wrong here. Maybe you guys can please provide any ideas on how I can approach it, what's a better way for me to tackle this down. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's me that I'm not separating my time accordingly, and I just need to make more time, and that goes without saying. That's just Instagram, right? I'm also I know for a fact I don't know if the word neglect is appropriate, but I know in the YouTube comments I've been liking and hearting the comments more than responding, but it gets definitely tiring. I'm not gonna lie, guys, and I really appreciate you guys' time. I actually read them, but if I started replying to every little one, man, it's tiring, and that's just time that I'm not even spending to edit, to find people, to meet up, it's constantly one thing or another. But it doesn't even sound like this conversation about philosophy, more like about venting. But yeah, I mean, I there's days that I'm like, okay, cool, let me just sit 2 hours solid, respond, just be committed to responding, put the phone away. Or if you're gonna, if I get my phone, then I'm gonna respond and do it that way. But I mean, it goes without saying that I'm super grateful and humble that you guys have even the desire to say something. Please don't think that it goes unnoticed. Me going to Northern Cali, which is 6 hours, which geographically it's not it's not one from one side to the other side of the world, but it's pretty freaking far. And to have people come up to me and say, hey man, I love the videos, hey man, keep putting it down for the course, oh hey man, I didn't know you were coming up here, like it's almost like, oh shoot, like that's so weird, like you guys watch videos of me washing my car in a whole different part of the state, the country, the world, and I'm just a regular ass dude. I'm just me. So that's the reason I kind of want to just show my philosophy is still the same. Meet people, have good experiences, try to help as many people. But at the same time, I'll be honest with you guys, I've been kind of having a little bit of a struggle with some of this. So any tips, definitely appreciate them. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for the love and the support. And as always, we go for the car, but we stay for the people. Thank you so much.